the 8th anniversary of the Marikana massacre. It's when 34 miners were gunned down by police at Lonmin's Platinum Mine. It's after a strike by AMCU members who were demanding a salary of 12,500 rand a month. Now the strike turned violent and at least 10 people were killed in the days leading up to the deadly clash between the miners and police. Advocate Dalimpofu has threatened legal action against President Cyril Ramaphosa today. The representatives of the victims of the Marikana massacre are giving Ramaphosa until the end of the month to receive their full compensation.
In the case of Mr. Ramaphosa personally, the saddest thing is that what they have done is to take technical points, technical legal points, like saying, no, there's no case about an apology. They don't realize that for the victims, you've heard from the widows, you've heard from everyone. Actually, the issue of the apology is, I can say, sometimes even more important to them than the money, because they want closure. And so we appeal to Mr. Ramaphosa to stop taking technical points. In his capacity as the president of the country, I have been asked by the people we represent to say that we are giving them until the end of August. If they have not compensated these people, we are going to see what we do about that.
Now, women in Marikana staged a protest over a lack of services in the area. Activist and Member of Parliament Primrose Sonti joins us now for more on how women are struggling for accountability 8 years after the massacre. Sonti, good evening. It's a pleasure to have you with us on News at Prime tonight. Perhaps if we can just begin with your own personal reaction and how you were personally impacted by the Marikana massacre.
Okay, good evening. My name is Primrose Sonti. I'm the resident of Marikana in Bonnerkop, Ward 26. During the massacre in Marikana, I took a part. I played a role, a big role, because we as women of Bonnerkop, who were strongly forward to give the solidarity to those mine workers who were injured, who were died, who were arrested during that time of tragedy in Marikana. So we started there to support them until today.
Let's talk about the work that you did in organizing, in particular, the women of Marikana under the umbrella of the organization that you would call Sikhala Sonke. What was the purpose of this movement?
It was not easy because of that situation, but because we are women and we are strong enough, so we forced to. In fact, it was me who organized those women in Marikana, just collecting them to make some group so that we can go straight even to the courts, to the funerals, to the commission, which was headed by Falam in that time. So after then, I decided to make that organization, because at that time we scattered. Like if we are going to the court, those who want to go to the court, they go. Those who don't want, they don't. So I just think, no, man, guys, let's unite. And then we must make one thing to be a solid, so that we can do this thing in one together all the time. So, and then we met, and then we come up with many names to name that organization of us. In fact, the aim for that organization, it was to help the mine workers. I don't want to go in other way or to go further. It was the aim to help those mine workers, to support them, to give them the solidarity. And then we did that. And then we came up with the name, which is Sikhala Sonke. We were crying, all of us, that time. I remember it was the September month after the August. It is where the Paulina Masutlo was shot and killed by the police. We were on that gathering on that day. I was the survivor in that day because I was with Paulina on that day. So the name, which is Sikhala Sonke, it was including all of us in Marikana, because in that time we were all crying as the women, as the community, everybody in that time, we were on tears. That's why the name came as Sikhala Sonke Women's Organization.
It's 8 years later, and I wonder, from your perspective, have any of those cries of the women, not just yourself, but the other women that you're part of this movement with, have those cries been heard?
Not at all. And I can say to you, it is disgrace, it is disappointment, and it's embarrassment to the ruling party and the mine, which is we are nearby now. The ruling party failed us as the women of Marikana, because the first place, there's no justice for this thing which was done by the ruling party, because it is the ruling party who killed the people in Marikana, nobody else. If it's the mine was ordered, or the mine was mandated by the ruling party. But now the ruling party, where is the justice? No justice. Where is the service delivery for these people of Marikana? Nothing. Nothing, 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 nothing. Even now it's worse. I think before 2012, it was better, the roads were better, but now it's worse and worse and worse. Even water, there's no water. What I can say to you, ANC, which is the ruling party, the strategy in Marikana, take it as the politically interest to them. Why I'm saying that? We won the award in 2016 as EFF, Economic Freedom Fighters. We won the award, Ward 26. But from then, nobody wants to help us from the municipalities, from the municipality, because we are the EFF. Nobody wants to help us. Everything here, it's mess, 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 mess. I don't have water. We don't have water here. We don't have roads. We don't have electricity. We don't have nothing after these 8 years.
We heard from Advocate Dalimpofu today in part of his address saying that the people of Marikana are now demanding compensation within 2 weeks. I believe there's also further calls for an apology, another apology from the president to the people of Marikana. Do you think that the president has handled this in the best way possible?
The compensation you talk about, it was able to be before even that first year of this strategy. President Ramaphosa was supposed to come and then make the compensation and the apology to the people of Marikana, but he never did that. So I don't know now he will come and make those things after this many, many, many years, which is 8 years today.
Is he welcome in Marikana? Do the people of Marikana still want the president to come there and address them?
I don't know about the community, but me, myself, I don't want him to come here. It's over. He is late to come here.
How much of what has happened in your community is part of the reason that you now have become so active in politics, and how does it...
Come again. Sorry, come again.
I'm saying, how much of what has happened in your community has been the reason why you've entered politics in the way you have?
I don't understand. If you can.
So what I'm asking is, when you decided to join the EFF, was that because of what was happening in Marikana?
I joined the EFF because of the ANC, what was happened in Marikana firstly. In fact, I joined EFF. When I joined the EFF, I was just already leave the ANC already. Because the way they are ruling, it's not good. So I just decided to stay at home and just stay. And then EFF came and then I joined EFF.
What did it mean to have the EFF in Marikana at that time?
Come again?
So okay, that's fine. Let's move on. The Ian Farlam Commission, do you think it was a good commission?
No, it was not good. There was no results. No better results, good results there. It was just a waste of money. It was just a waste of taxpayers only. Because there's no one who is accountable. The ruling party, the police, the miners, the mine bosses, no one who is accountable, even today.
What do the people of Marikana still need? What does somebody like yourself still need in order to see that justice has indeed been served for the people of Marikana?
The first thing we want on this compensation or the justice, you know what we need? You know, these women, the widows who are working underground in the mine, we don't like that. It was supposed for those women to go and stay at home with their children and get that money, not get the money while they are working underground. You know, it's our thing we need from the government and the mine. Number two, we want the community to have all these things. The condition here is bad. So we want the service delivery, all the things like water, the roads, the houses, the electricity, all those things. We want them to be in Marikana.